ESPN, owned by Disney, can technically ban LeVar Ball, but they continue to keep this clown on the show after what the comments he just said. And not only is Max going to roast him, I'm going to double roast him. Stay tuned on another episode of Petty Savage Ball Z.
Yo quiero hacerte.
If he develops a system for you and you do what he wants you to do, let's not forget there was controversy when he made Harden the point guard.
What's Mike D'Antoni's system? What's Mike D'Antoni's system? He didn't need that was on paper, bro. He's always been the point guard. That was a paper move.
What do you-
No. He handles the ball more under D'Antoni than he did before.
Thank you, Max. Expose this clown, please. What is he talking about? James Harden was not always the point guard. At times in Oklahoma City, when they would go with that 3-set with Russell Westbrook, James Harden, and Kevin Durant, Russell would slide to the 2, especially late in games. But he was not he was not always the point guard. Please stop it, okay? He was handling the ball, and the ball was in his hands a hell of a lot more. Excuse me. When Mike D'Antoni decided to make him the point guard, because James Harden had never averaged even more than 7 assists. And he averaged 11.2 assists in 2017, the year that Russell Westbrook won the MVP, with 8 rebounds and 29 a game. Almost averaged a triple-double himself, the year that Westbrook averaged a triple-double. So what are you talking about, Ryan? Please, man, stop talking basketball, man. Somebody get Kyle Kuzma off the damn set and tell him to go practice with the Lakers right now. Y'all got to worry about winning the championship this season to help LeBron and AD. Please.
Usage rate went through the roof. To Harden's credit,
So what was Chris Paul then?
he
So what was
sustained
Chris
an
Paul
excellent
when he was on the floor?
efficiency.
What was Chris Paul then? What was Chris Paul when he was on
Chris
the floor?
Paul played off ball a lot, in fact.
Thank you.
But let's take Harden, Ryan. Let's take Harden off the Rockets and take Antetokounmpo off the Bucks, because people seem to want to do that. You did it. Stephen A. did it the other day. In fact, the
Milwaukee
Rockets
makes the
without
playoffs.
James Harden are like a 500-ish team. You tell me, Chris Paul, Eric Gordon, Clint Capella, PJ Tucker. Yeah, that's like a 500-ish
Hey, buddy.
team. In fact,
Hey, buddy. You know where they were when when James Harden was hurt? You know where they were? 12th place in the Western Conference. That's where they go. 12th place.
sure, because the system was built for James Harden.
See?
And they had some
It's similar to Russell Westbrook, and it's similar to LeBron James. This is what I've been saying for the longest. You see, Ryan Hollins with that stupid no cap, with that stupid idiotic sentiment. When the system is built around you, when you control the ball, obviously the team is not going to be the same, and they're going to play much more poorly, because now they're so dependent on what you do in your style of play that they're really not going to know what to do. But yet this fool who was a bench warmer for the NBA has no idea on what it is to talk about basketball. And he played it. Okay? Welcome back to the Lewis Basketball Network. It is your boy Lewis, and I'm back once again with another one, man. Second straight video. Keep the ground, keep the hustle, never stop, never settle on it. The King Court Jester himself, Ryan Hollins, was on First Take. And I ain't gonna lie, guys, the minute I was watching the First Take video, the first thing I thought about was, who's here after the Molly with LeVar Ball comments? I mean, everybody was going for that. Come on, everybody was going for the clickbait for that. But once again, ladies and gentlemen, they are going to talk about last night's award with the MVP. Giannis, Harden, and Paul George were the candidates for the MVP, and Giannis wins the award. Ryan Hollins is going to make a case as to why he thought James Harden wins it. And Max, you already know. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to put my headset on as you listen to my commentary on this situation. Fellas, and unfortunately, Molly, take it away.
Because those believe that I've been incredibly hard on him through the whole season. But unfortunately, no, they got it wrong. He was not the MVP of the NBA.
Sir, why did they get it wrong? Tell me, why did they get it wrong? I mean, Giannis, who saw the Milwaukee Bucks having a better record than the Golden State Warriors? Nobody. Nobody saw the Milwaukee Bucks as contenders. They were a first-round exit last year. They won 60 games. Giannis led the league in player efficiency rating. Giannis shot 58% of the field while having 27, 12, and 6. Those aren't numbers to sneeze at, my friend. It showed you he showed a good all-around game. Now, I said before that he, to me, is kind of overrated in some sense, but I was saying when you look at his impact, on the Milwaukee Bucks, where would they be without Giannis Antetokounmpo? And obviously, you have to have a good team around you because no one guy does it alone. But I'm going to say it again. Giannis deserved this award. James Harden had a great year, but you already know what this MVP is like. You really don't even know what the MVP award is anymore. And as always, shout out to my man Meek Mill. There are levels to this.
I do not know how it was not James Harden. And when I think about James Harden's season, I think of first. There are a lot of firsts. The guy's numbers rival Kareem, Wilt, Michael Jordan. When you think about...
No, what you're thinking about is his scoring and you're thinking about his PER. But other than that, James Harden doesn't affect anywhere else on the court. Now you're looking at it as, well, Lewis, why does James Harden have to rebound? I'm saying that James Harden, he doesn't impact on the floor defensively because if you also remember, Giannis Antetokounmpo was a candidate for Defensive Player of the Year. Not only was he a candidate for MVP, but also Defensive Player of the Year, which tells you Giannis was shown in an all-around game. And also Giannis was rebounding the basketball. So, and he was also getting you 6 assists on top of that. So when you have a guy who has the ability to rebound, the ability to drive to the basket and kind of at times kind of look unstoppable unless you have the right design defense to, again, put a wall, build like the Great Wall of China to stop Giannis. The thing is, even if you can stop Giannis, you can stop James Harden too. Again, you have to design your defense to take away certain things because remember, with Giannis Antetokounmpo he'll do some other things on the floor, but he impacts when he's driving to the basket. With James Harden, you take away his free throws, and he's much less effective. He's going to drive less, and he's going to settle for the three. And people need to understand this too. James Harden shot more mid-range shots in Oklahoma City and in the beginning part of his Houston Rockets career. I feel like ever since Mike D'Antoni has come in, especially with Daryl Morey being in his ear about this whole analytic BS, James Harden has settled for that three-point shot like crazy. Like crazy. And like I said, it has not produced anything in the playoffs.
System, when you think about what he had to do on his own, yes, literally on his own, he had every single teammate darn near miss games. James Harden was the system. He wasn't a piece of the system. He didn't have the coach of the year, Coach Mike Budenholzer.
So what you're saying is if James Harden is the system, how are they going to win when he dominates the ball, nearly 100% of the time? And people were saying that that's what Chris Paul was kind of complaining about to Mike D'Antoni. Mike D'Antoni, once again, ladies and gentlemen, is known for ball movement. It's just in this style, in this era, and what he told James Harden, man, I said I feel like this is more Daryl Morey influence on Mike D'Antoni on how to play is what James Harden is playing the way he is because Mike D'Antoni, even with the ball in Steve Nash's hands, the ball still moved for the Phoenix Suns.
Everything. James Harden averaged 35 points,
including pace,
7 assists for the entire season. If you ask any other NBA player, guys who had to play against him, a guy who predicated his game off of a step-back three-pointer, literally the hardest shot in basketball, and was effective. Max, I don't know if you know anything about this.
Effective in the regular season, not in the playoffs. But again, the MVP is a regular season award. I get it. But keep going. Continue to spew out this garbage so we can all listen as to why we should get your ass off the show.
This, Max, but when you shoot a three-pointer for an entire duration of an 82-game season, for any shooter, the first thing that goes is your legs. And what James Harden did this last season was literally impossible.
Listen, Harden had a great season. And every single season, it's Harden or Steph, Harden or LeBron, Harden or Giannis, till you get to the postseason, right? You know, the line from last night, Harden couldn't make it here because he doesn't show up in the postseason, right? And that's the truth. But regular season, he's the best player in basketball, James Harden, over the last 3 years if you take that whole body of work. It's always him or someone else. And the other guy keeps changing, but he stays the same. But he wasn't better than Giannis this season. Let me tell you how good Giannis...
Wait a minute. That's kind of deceiving right there because all I've heard is LeBron has been the best player a while. But now you're saying that James Harden was the best player in the last 3 regular seasons, but then LeBron's been the best player in this last decade. I want you to think about that for a second. Max has said that LeBron is the best player and nobody's not even close, but James Harden has been the best player in the regular season the last 3 seasons. Just kind of interesting for me. Kind of interesting. Interesting.
It's hard to imagine. Ryan Hollins, imagine a guy your size, but really good at basketball. Like, think about that for a second.
Max, thank you, sir. Salute.
Coming from a guy who can't play basketball.
Coming from a guy who's been a bench warmer, shut up.
Your size are really good at basketball. Think about what Giannis did this year. Offensively, his PER. So we can talk about points, assists, rebounds, assist to turnover ratio, effective field goal percentage, free throw percentage, three-point percentage, mid-range. But PER takes all of that into account. And it has a number at the end. And the number, the PER number, we're talking about just offense, Giannis 30.9, Harden 30.6.
Let me know if you guys think that the player efficiency rating is overrated. Let me know in the comments.
You know what, Brian? I'm with you on this. Harden's offense, because he can get his own shot, because he can set up teammates if he so chooses, et cetera, because of his higher usage rate, because he missed a few.
The difference between these two players is Giannis is actually more willing to share the ball, unlike James Harden, even though Harden has his assists. But again, it comes within his system. Giannis kind of plays in the system, but again, the Milwaukee Bucks, they predicate more on ball movement. They do jack up a lot of threes, which they're going to have to find a way to mix that up even more, even though this is a three-point league.
For games, Harden is the better offensive player than Giannis, but it's marginal. It's like very, very close.
How's that? How does that work? He averaged 6 to 7 points more.
Is it?
How's that marginal?
I'm just telling you, the PER favors.
Points doesn't tell you everything, Ryan Hollins. This is why you have no clue on what you're talking about. Just because James Harden averaged more points, again, that doesn't necessarily just mean that you're an MVP. Look, Kobe Bryant averaged 35 points a game in 2006. But who won the MVP that year? Steve Nash. He averaged 18 and 10. See what I'm talking about?
Where's Giannis? I'm giving you Harden.
He is the off.
People are going to say difference because it's like, well, Harden averaged 6 rebounds and 7 assists. But what have people been focusing on a lot? His scoring. They don't even really talk about his overall. He may have had overall numbers, but they don't really talk about that. They just talk about how he has such an amazing scoring season. Amazing scoring season. There's a difference between having an amazing scoring season and having an amazing overall season.
Everything initiates with James Harden. The one thing about Giannis in the fast break, he is a freight train. We've seen nothing like it. He's even more dynamic than LeBron James has ever been. But in the half court, everything. Literally, when I
Let me know what you guys think about that. Is Giannis more dynamic than LeBron James on the fast break? I'm not going to get into that one.
say everything goes through James Harden. And keep in mind, I don't want to say he didn't have Chris Paul, but he ain't have Chris Paul. He didn't have Eric Gordon for a couple games. And he even missed his doggone defense.
He didn't. But what I noticed about James Harden, he was so focused on that scoring record of consecutive 30-point games that this just kind of tells you what some kind of why, to me, it's just kind of thing, man, in terms of like, you could tell some of these guys. See, Giannis wasn't even looking and pretty much caring about his stats. Maybe he was, I don't know. But James Harden, you could honestly tell about that scoring streak. There were games where James Harden had no business being in when the Rockets were losing, and he made sure to stay in the game to make sure that he got his 30 to keep that 30 scoring streak alive so that the media could go off this narrative that he's been the best scorer since Michael Jordan or he was more amazing than Kobe Bryant. When quite honestly, that again, how people are saying 60-point triple-double. Like I said, I've seen more amazing than that. No disrespect to Harden. He had a great year. Again, at the end of the day. But Giannis still deserved it, though.
Clint Capella. And when Clint Capella went down, we expected everything to come shattering down. And the reality, Max, is it didn't. So we're talking about the MVP award. We're talking about the most valuable player. Not to mention, he played in the Western Conference. The West, dog, not the East, where you get handed games. James Harden put on...
Wait a minute. This is where I expose LeBron James and then you with this sentiment, Ryan Hollins. You just said that James Harden was in the Western Conference, not in the Eastern Conference when they give you these free games. Didn't LeBron James play in that same Eastern Conference? And all I've heard is people say LeBron is a man's among boys. Now because Giannis won the award and you're congratulating him, you're saying that he got freebies in the Eastern Conference and that James Harden played in the West. Get this guy off of TV, please. Get him off.
His value. My goodness, Max.
I'll give you Harden on off.
My goodness, you are crazy. Man, you are crazy. Shout out to Andre Iguodala for that.
As I just said, but even though the offensive numbers that shows you per possession who's better say Giannis, I'll give you Harden. But it's marginal. Is it marginal on defense for Giannis over Harden?
It's not marginal. I don't agree to marginal.
Would you compare? Oh, by the way, I don't.
Giannis Antetokounmpo is a clearly better defender than James Harden. Like, come on, it's not even close. And it's like, again, he impacted the game in more ways than James Harden did. James Harden does it with scoring. Yes, he helped the Houston Rockets stay afloat in the West when Chris Paul and Clint Capella went down. But my point is, the Houston Rockets had championship aspirations entering this season. They just finished winning 65 games in 2018, and Harden was the MVP on that team that was so close to making the NBA Finals. This year, they had aspirations. Yes, he kept them afloat. And the bottom line is you're not always going to get the MVP every single year. We know this. And Max Kellerman had touched it up on terms of the voting for the season and the fixes in on who's probably going to win the awards. We already know.
I don't even have to give you that because the numbers say Giannis is better on offense. But is it marginal, your eyeball test, defense, Harden or Giannis?
No, Giannis could have been the defensive player of the year.
He's 7 feet tall, can defend all 5 positions, brother. And here's the other thing about him.
Okay, people need to stop with all this how can guard 1 through 5 and stuff like that. Like this is getting honestly ridiculous. It really is, honestly. That whole 1 through 5 thing, this all started with LeBron James. And LeBron James, as good of a defender he was never really an elite defender. Elite? I'm not ready to say that. LeBron James was good, but I don't think he was elite. I'm sorry. That's just my opinion. But anyway, once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is your boy Lewis with another one. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. As always, bless up, one love, peace. Thanks for watching. DJ, you already know the drill, man.
Did it like cold, 60 to go. That's some cold shit, call it 60 below. I mean, he play like he got ice in his veins. Shoot it in your face from far, man, that boy gotta be nice at the range. I talked with him twice at the games, once had to trade it on video. I say we had a nice little